How's it going, everyone? It's Ben Foggins, Media Corner, back again with a brand new video for today. Welcome back to the movie review, aka after our soul review video for today. This time for this new episode for this series, this is going to be my review on the 2023 sports comedy drama film. And this film is based off the 2018 Spanish language film of the same name, and that is Champions. Now, this film was directed by Bobby Farrelly, and this is actually his very first time directing a film as a solo director. And while he has directed movies before, but he has mostly made films alongside with his brother Peter Farrelly, in which they're well known for making like wacky comedy films such as Dumb and Dumber, Kingpin, There's Something About Mary, Me, Myself, and Irene, Shallow Hal, and many other comedies they have made together as brothers. And in this film, we follow this former minor league basketball coach named Marcus, played by Woody Harrelson, whom he is ordered by the court to manage a team with intellectual disabilities. And then he soon realizes that despite his doubts, he will realize that this team can go further than they ever gone before. So that's pretty much the story of Champions. When I first saw the trailers for this movie, I was actually looking forward to this movie since this was a new film about basketball. And when it comes to like basketball movies and like in the sports genre, I do tend to enjoy those movies quite a bit. Like I've seen a good amount of like good basketball movies over the last few years and all that. But what I didn't realize that this film was actually based off the 2018 Spanish language film, which I've never seen that film or even heard of it before. So I went to this film knowing nothing much about that previous film and all that, and I was really intrigued to see what Woody Harrelson was going to do with this new film here, since he is one of my favorite actors here. I think he's a great yet fun actor. And I was really surprised that Bobby Farrelly was directing this film here, which I've never seen him doing a film before on his own, because, like I said before, he has directed movies before, but he's mostly made films alongside with his brother, in which they've made like well-known like wacky comedy films, like those movies I mentioned before and all that. So I was really intrigued to see what he was going to do with this new film here. And this film came out back in March of this year, alongside with the new Scream movie, in which I saw that film first, and I went to see a few other films that came out the exact same day as that film did. So I saw this film like a few days after it came out and all that, and I saw this in a pretty big screening, although there wasn't that many people in, unfortunately and all that. But after watching this whole movie here, I can definitely tell you guys that I had a pretty good time with Champions here. I thought this was overall a really good yet delightful sports dramedy film here. The things that I liked in Champions was the acting. Like Woody Harrelson, I thought he was really good, yeah, really entertaining in the movie as Marcus. And you also have here in the movie Kaitlin Olson, whom she plays the love interest of Marcus. I thought she was also good as well, and her chemistry with Woody Harrelson I thought was pretty charming for the most part, yeah. And you also have here in the movie Ernie Hudson, who you may know him from Ghostbusters. I thought he was pretty solid in the movie, as well as Cheech, Marin, although they're not in the movie that much, but they were pretty solid for the most part here, for a few scenes that they pop up once in a while here and there in this film here. And as for the basketball team themselves here, like the team that we see in the film here, they were really good and yeah, really fun for their performances here. And we do get to learn a little bit about their backgrounds here, although there were times where it can feel a bit dimensional and all that. But I did find some of their backgrounds pretty interesting for the most part here. And as for the story, it is a pretty simple yet basic story here, but it is one I did find myself really invested with, mostly through like the characters and all that. And although it does kind of follow the exact same scenario that we've seen before in these kind of films, like there were moments where I knew what was going to happen and all that. Like it's mostly like in the middle act and like towards the end of the film and all that, which that's another issue I did have and all that. And another issue I did have with this film is the runtime. I kind of felt it was a bit too long and all that, because the film's only on for 2 hours and 4 minutes. But I just kind of wish a couple of minutes of this film could have been shaved off and all of that. And as for like the humor in the film, it is pretty enjoyable here. Like there's a good amount of like humorous moments here and there in this film here. Like there were the jokes that I knew I was going to see and all that once I saw the trailers for this film. But there were a few jokes that I didn't really expect to see while I was watching the film here. Like there was a few slapstick jokes and a few like awkward jokes and all that. Like there were some like gross out moments and all that, which I didn't really expect to see that while I was watching the film here and all that. But overall, in the end, guys, Champions, I thought this was overall a good, solid, yeah, lighthearted basketball film here. And if you're a fan of movies that involves basketball, or you're a fan of like Woody Harrelson or anything like that, this is definitely a good recommendation for myself here. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Champions. I'm going to give Champions 3.5 out of 5. Yep, like I said, this was overall a good, solid, yeah, lighthearted basketball dramedy film here. And despite having a few flaws I did have with this film, I still managed to have myself a pretty good time with this new basketball film here. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching for my AK After I Saw review on Champions. And let me know what you think of this movie if you have seen this already or if you just recently checked out this film. Did you have a really good time with this, or was this not really a cup of tea? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been Fogan's Media Corner signing off.